everyone, this is Jade from ShutUpAndRockOn.com, and I am sitting here with the legendary Ernie C of Body Count. Ernie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Everything's cool. Yes.
It's about 1,000 degrees outside. We're at Chicago Open Air. And what time do you guys go on today?
5:40. We're going to be on the stage, I think, right behind us at about 5:40.
Awesome. So now let's talk about you and your influences, because I know that you've always been a rock fan.
Right.
So what were the bands for you?
I mean, the standard bands, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple. I listen to
Classic stuff?
Yeah, I listen to Ozzy, but I grew up listening to funk music, the Parliament.
And I love the 60s, like that whole soul thing.
Yeah.
All the bands that started with the Temptations.
Yeah.
The Commodores,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
As a matter of fact, in my life, I played for a guy called Dennis Edwards, who was a Temptation. Yeah, was the original Temptation. Not the original. He replaced David Ruffin. But yeah.
That's cool. And so you've always been a fan of this type of music, but what made you think, let's do a band? Let me play it.
I played on Ice's early rap records. We've been doing rap since the 80s. So
Yeah.
we reached a point where we couldn't put any more guitar on the records.
Right.
So the natural progression was to start a band, and then we started a band. First, I was the singer for the band, and then Ice stepped in, and then the rest has just been a cool ride.
Cool ride. And I know your debut album, it was self-titled,
Huh?
and it has the infamous song Cop Killer
Yes.
on it that caused a whole lot of commotion in the music scene, and it was ultimately removed from the album for kind of
By us.
by you,
Yes.
for overshadowing kind of the commotion it caused overshadowed the music itself. Do you still feel that way?
Well, it's a different time, like that song, everything we talked about on that first record 25 years ago is still relevant now.
Yeah.
Everybody's still mad at cops, it's still racism.
I feel like it's more so now,
Yeah.
too, especially with social media and
Social
everything.
media has made everything more amplified. It's made racism popular.
Yeah.
Racism is like a thing now. It's cool.
I know it used to be really tongue-in-cheek, you didn't
Right.
talk about it,
Yeah,
but now it's everywhere.
Now you can be racist and be, like it's cool, a cool thing, So it's changed, but it's the same record 25 years ago. Everything is still prevalent now.
And everyone says you guys have these crazy, outlandish lyrics, but in reality, you're writing about things you know about, and it's your life.
Right. We write the truth, we write about the truth. The Beach Boys write about going to the beach because that's what
I
they
read
know.
that, you said that.
Yeah, and we write about what we know, So we knew the streets of South Central. We write about the streets of South Central,
And do you feel like, because a lot of people say, oh, well, we want to write music that people can relate to, and not everyone can relate to the streets of South Central. So what do you think your fans really come to you guys for?
It comes to hear that, to hear like, you watch horror movies to get, the horror, to get scared. You listen to our music because it brings that same kind of tension. Well, in Chicago, of all places, the murder capital of the United States, they really can relate to the music we play. We're playing a new song today, which is called "This Is How We Ride." It's about a drive-by. What happens to it? To make a drive-by happen. It just doesn't happen by accident.
Yeah.
It's not like they just go shoot people. People are doing revenge and, all kind of things are going in.
And throughout the band's history, unfortunately, 3 band members have died. And how do you cope with that as a band?
Well, you really don't. At a time, I was going through a lot of depression, a lot of, drinking too much. I quit drinking years ago, 8 years ago. I quit drinking just because, of all the things that's happened to the band. But, now we're back. We have new members. Everyone kind of just, the energy's still going,
And I know you guys have a new album out that you released earlier this year, Bloodlust, and it has some people who are playing at this festival. You've got Dave Mustaine on it. You've got Randy from Lamb of God. Now tell me about how was making that album.
That record was the most fun I've ever had doing.
Really, out of all of them?
I thought the first one was fun because it was so new.
Yeah.
This one was we knew what we were doing, and we had those people on it. We didn't go out to get them on the record. Those are just friends that invited themselves to be on the record.
Yeah, right.
You get a call. You get a call from Dave Mustaine. What do you say? No.
I know, you can't say no. Okay? Go to the studio, we'll check it.
He said just send a track over, and he did a guitar solo on the record.
Oh, yeah?
And that helps me out a lot because it brings me up to a level to make people respect me because they're like,
You're
Dave.
in the same area.
Yeah, Dave's not playing with a sucker. That's an old rap word. A
You sound like my father. That's how my dad talks. So
sucker.
My dad's from like Bronx.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you guys
Oh,
are like
yeah.
opposite sides of the United States, but very similar.
There's the same kind of attitude that
Yeah.
works. But anyway, so that's what happened with that. It was a lot of fun doing that record. And the thing about it is, the record is doing really well.
Yeah.
It's selling records.
I see it's got a lot of really good reviews. I didn't see one review of it with like under an 8 out of 10.
Right, and it's selling, which is like a thing, hard to sell records now. And I always tell people, it's hard to sell records if you don't make a good record. A lot of bands take it for granted. They can throw out anything.
They just put it out and like, why aren't people buying
We
it?
took time to write every song, and we eliminated 2 songs because they weren't right, weren't up to standards. And the people that are on the guests, people that are on the record are on the exact right song. Like, you can take the song that Randy's on and not say it's Body Count, and people will think it's a Lamb of God song.
Yeah.
We sound like the bands they sound like the song, so we went through every song and put the right person on it.
And how long was it in production for? How long were you guys working on it?
3 or 4 months, 6 months. We wrote it in Arizona, then we recorded it, went back and forth, and and Ice did something that he's never done. He took songs and threw them out and rewrote them because they weren't right. We took a lot of time on this record.
Really critiquing.
Plus it was a record that came out almost 25 years to the day as the first record. So people were like,
that's really full circle
right,
for you guys too.
We don't want to be on a record, do a record 25 years later that's worse than the first record.
Oh, yeah.
So we had to make it consistent.
Now, what are you guys up to now? Because I know you guys don't really tour so much. You just kind of play shows.
Yeah, we're just playing some spot dates this summer, and we're going to play a Loud Wire Awards and induct Slayer into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, and we just next year we'll tour. We'll do a real tour.
Like a real tour?
Yeah, probably in Europe though. Yeah, we went to Australia last month and played.
How is it over there?
We haven't been there in 20 years. We sold out every show, and our audience is averaging 20 to 35 years old.
Yeah.
Considering we've been around for 27 years, that's kind of amazing.
Yeah, right? And so touring-wise, do you wish that you could do like more big tours, like full sets?
I don't. Well, full sets are good, but we're going to play enough right now to get people to know what the band is. We play smaller clubs and things. We do a full set, but this is enough to keep people's attention and make them say, when they come back again, we'll go see them when they play on their own. So instead of keep on playing until we're going to play I'm going to play what I play at practice.
Yeah, right.